Are you tired of constantly worrying about where to charge your electric car? What if you could just park or even drive and your car charges wirelessly without any cables? It might sound like science fiction, but wireless power for electric cars is quickly becoming a reality. The current charging infrastructure for electric vehicles is a major barrier to mass adoption. Charging stations are limited in number, especially in rural areas or developing countries. Long charging times frustrate users and make road trips inconvenient. Installing home chargers can be expensive, especially if electrical upgrades are needed. Public charging infrastructure is costly and time-consuming to build and maintain. This reliance on physical charging cables and stations is holding back the EV revolution. But what if we could eliminate the need for plugs entirely? Enter wireless charging, a game-changing solution that could transform the electric vehicle landscape. Wireless power allows energy to be transferred without physical contact. No cables, no connectors, no hassle. This technology uses magnetic fields to send power from a charging pad to a receiver in the vehicle. Imagine just parking over a pad and watching your battery fill up, no plugging in required. Now take it a step further. Imagine charging while driving on highways embedded with wireless power strips. That's the vision that's exciting researchers, engineers, and car manufacturers around the world. Wireless charging could unlock a new level of convenience for electric vehicle owners. You could charge your car in your garage, at the mall, or while waiting at a red light. It could solve the problem of range anxiety for good. But how does wireless charging actually work? The core principle behind it is called electromagnetic induction. This is the same principle used in electric toothbrushes and wireless phone chargers. An electromagnetic field is generated by a coil in the ground pad. A receiving coil in the car picks up this energy and converts it into electricity. That electricity is then used to charge the car's battery, all without touching anything. This is a proven method, and it's already used in some limited pilot projects for vehicles. Wireless charging systems for electric buses exist in places like Korea, Germany, and the US. These systems are being tested in parking lots, depots, and along specific stretches of road. The efficiency of these systems can be quite high, sometimes above 90%. But wireless EV charging is not without challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is range. How far can energy travel wirelessly? Most systems today only work when the car is directly over the pad. This limits how wireless the experience really feels. Another issue is power level. Wireless chargers tend to charge more slowly than wired DC fast chargers. This makes them better suited for overnight or stationary use rather than quick top-ups. There are also alignment issues. The coils must be precisely positioned to work efficiently. However, engineers are working on systems that use AI and sensors to assist with alignment. Another challenge is cost. Installing wireless charging pads isn't cheap. Retrofitting streets and garages takes time, money, and cooperation from multiple stakeholders. Still, the potential benefits are enormous. Convenience is king in consumer technology, and wireless charging offers that in spades. It's also safer, no exposed cables, no risk of shock or vandalism. It reduces wear and tear on connectors and eliminates user error. Accessibility improves for people with disabilities or mobility issues. Imagine a world where you never have to touch a charging cable again, or a logistics fleet that charges vehicles automatically during loading and unloading. Wireless power could make EVs more practical for businesses, cities, and individuals alike. The environmental benefits are just as compelling. More efficient charging infrastructure could reduce the carbon footprint of transportation. Fewer materials are needed for maintenance and replacement of physical connectors. Wireless systems can be embedded in existing infrastructure like roads, garages, and curbs. Some cities are already planning to incorporate wireless charging into their smart city designs. Inductive charging roads are being piloted in Sweden, Israel, and Michigan. These roads allow equipped vehicles to draw small amounts of power while driving. This could drastically reduce the size and cost of EV batteries. Smaller batteries mean lighter cars and lower production costs. That's good for manufacturers, consumers, and the planet. It also means less demand for rare earth minerals used in battery production. Wireless charging could shift the entire EV ecosystem. Cars wouldn't need to stop and plug in. They could top up power continuously throughout the day. This changes everything about vehicle design and energy storage strategy. It might even lead to new vehicle categories. Optimized for continuous wireless charging. Delivery robots, drones, and autonomous taxis could become more viable. Wireless power could serve as the invisible backbone of urban mobility. Of course, we're not there yet. The current wireless power systems are limited in scope and capability. But the trend is clear. More automakers and tech companies are investing in wireless EV charging. Companies like Witricity, Electrian, and Momentum Dynamics are leading the way. Major automakers, including BMW, Hyundai, and Toyota, are exploring integration in their vehicles. Tesla has expressed interest in wireless power and is rumored to be developing their own solution. In China, wireless charging is already being tested on public buses and private vehicles. Government support and regulatory frameworks are crucial to scaling this technology. Standards need to be established for interoperability and safety. There's also the challenge of integrating wireless power into aging grid infrastructure, but the rewards make the challenges worth solving. A fully wireless charging network would be more resilient and user-friendly. It could adapt to the needs of both dense cities and rural communities. Wireless power might also integrate well with renewable energy systems. Imagine solar-powered roads that charge vehicles directly as they drive, or parking lots that wirelessly charge cars using stored wind energy. This synergy could accelerate the transition to a clean energy economy. It also enhances grid flexibility and energy distribution efficiency. With proper planning, wireless charging could ease grid load by distributing charging more evenly. No more spikes during peak hours, just smooth, continuous energy flow. This aligns well with the future of decentralized energy systems. Wireless power becomes not just a convenience, but a strategic asset. It supports smart city development, autonomous transport, and sustainability goals. It also enables new business models, subscription-based charging, energy as a service, or dynamic billing. Drivers might pay for power by the mile instead of by the kilowatt hour. Roads might become both as transportation and energy delivery platforms. It's a reimagining of infrastructure from the ground up. Wireless charging could also democratize energy access. In countries with poor grid connectivity, solar or wind-powered pads could provide local energy autonomy. This opens doors for rural electrification and off-grid mobility solutions. There are equity implications as well. Marginalized communities could benefit from easier access to EV charging, but adoption will depend on trust, reliability, and affordability. Consumers will need to be convinced that wireless systems are safe and effective. That's why demonstration projects and public trials are so important. Real-world testing builds confidence and uncovers technical challenges. It also provides data that can be used to optimize performance and design. The path forward involves industry collaboration, public-private partnerships, and academic research. Breakthroughs in material science, power electronics, and artificial intelligence will accelerate progress. Government funding and policy incentives will also play a critical role. Wireless charging needs to be part of national and international clean energy roadmaps. The vision is bold, but not impossible. We've already seen the transformation of personal electronics through wireless power. Now it's time for transportation to follow suit. In the next decade, the roads we drive on could be as smart as the cars themselves. Wireless charging isn't just a feature. It's a foundational shift in how we move, connect, and power the future. Imagine pulling into your driveway and your car starts charging automatically without you even stepping out. No fumbling with cables, no worrying about rain, and no fear of worn-out plugs. This is the promise of wireless power, and the future is closer than most people think. One of the most transformative ideas is dynamic wireless charging, the ability to charge while driving. This means highways embedded with inductive coils that transfer power to vehicles in motion. It could drastically reduce downtime and eliminate the concept of range altogether. Instead of planning your trip around charging stops, energy would be delivered continuously as you go. This makes electric vehicles truly competitive with internal combustion engines in terms of convenience. But dynamic charging is complex and requires significant infrastructure investment. Installing power delivery coils in roads is a major engineering and economic undertaking. it demands road excavation, precise alignment, and robust safety testing. Still, small-scale implementations are proving it's possible. In Sweden, a 1.6-kilometer stretch of road outside Stockholm is successfully charging delivery trucks in real time. Israel-based Electrian is testing similar systems in Tel Aviv and Detroit. Their technology uses a series of buried copper coils to generate magnetic fields under asphalt. These coils activate only when a vehicle with a compatible receiver passes overhead. This ensures safety, efficiency, and minimal energy waste. Cars are equipped with onboard units that manage power reception and regulate flow to the battery. The system communicates wirelessly with the road infrastructure to synchronize power transfer. The vision is scalable and modular. Cities could upgrade roads section by section over time. It would begin with high-traffic routes and eventually expand to cover urban and suburban corridors. Fleet vehicles like buses, taxis, and trucks would be the first to benefit. They follow fixed routes and schedules, making wireless charging highly predictable and efficient. This would reduce the need for large, expensive batteries. Smaller batteries lower production costs and environmental impact. That makes electric vehicles more affordable and accessible to the masses. Wireless charging could also address one of the thorniest problems in the EV ecosystem, charger clutter. As more EVs hit the road, public chargers are becoming congested and sometimes vandalized. Wireless pads embedded in parking spaces, curbsides, or taxi stands remove this friction entirely. They're invisible, tamper-resistant, and always ready to use. They make the act of charging passive rather than active, something that just happens in the background. This redefines what it means to own and operate an electric vehicle. Automakers are responding to this shift. Hyundai has already demonstrated wireless charging in its Genesis GV60. BMW developed a wireless charging system for its 530e plug-in hybrid. Toyota and Honda have both invested in inductive charging R&D and are eyeing future deployment. Mercedes-Benz is rumored to be developing luxury EVs with wireless home charging options. The trend is unmistakable. The industry is moving toward a cable-free future. This raises the question, will wired charging disappear completely? Not necessarily, at least not soon. Wired charging is still faster, cheaper, and more widely available. It will likely coexist with wireless solutions for many years, especially in rural or low-traffic areas. But as costs fall and adoption grows, wireless could become the default choice. Like Bluetooth replacing headphone jacks, convenience usually wins in the long term. And the technology is maturing rapidly. New developments in coil materials are improving power density and efficiency. Advanced software algorithms are making alignment simpler and more accurate. AI is being used to optimize energy transfer in real time based on vehicle position and demand. Machine learning models are helping predict energy flow to prevent overloads or inefficiencies. Thermal management systems are being refined to reduce heat loss during charging. Magnetic shielding materials are also improving safety by containing stray electromagnetic fields. These innovations are converging to make wireless EV charging not only viable, but superior. There's also a movement to standardize wireless charging technology globally. Groups like SAE International and the IEC are working on protocols for interoperability. This ensures that a vehicle can use wireless power pads regardless of brand or region. Universal standards will be key to global adoption and consumer trust. Imagine traveling from one country to another without worrying about charging compatibility. This is a future where convenience and sustainability go hand in hand. It's also a future with new economic opportunities. Wireless charging pads could be monetized through advertising, leasing, or usage fees. Retail locations could offer free wireless charging as a customer incentive. Smart billing systems would allow seamless payment via mobile apps or connected vehicle accounts. This could give rise to entire business models centered around energy as a service. Companies would compete not just on electricity cost, but also on convenience, speed, and value-added features. And it's not just cars. Other forms of mobility stand to benefit enormously. Electric bikes and scooters could charge wirelessly at docking stations or sidewalks. Autonomous delivery robots could top up energy during idle times without human intervention. Electric boats could dock at ports with underwater charging pads. Even airplanes could eventually be wirelessly charged on the ground using high-power inductive systems. The potential applications are vast and still largely untapped. Wireless power could also act as a bridge between vehicles and the smart grid. Bidirectional charging allows EVs to return energy to the grid during peak hours. Wireless systems are being developed to support this two-way flow of electricity. This turns electric cars into mobile energy assets that balance grid demand. It's a fundamental shift from consumer to contributor in the energy system when combined with renewable sources. This dynamic could stabilize grids and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. It's not just a change in how we charge, it's a change in how we think about energy. Vehicles become moving batteries, storing and sharing energy in real time. This transforms urban design, transportation logistics, and disaster resilience. In a blackout, EVs could provide emergency power to homes and hospitals. In remote areas, solar-powered wireless pads could create local microgrids with vehicle integration. In developing countries, this model bypasses the need for massive infrastructure investments. Wireless power empowers mobility, commerce, and independence at every scale. That's why governments and organizations must treat this innovation seriously. Funding is needed not just for R&D, but for deployment, education, and maintenance. Workforce training must be updated to include wireless system installation and diagnostics. Urban planning must adapt to incorporate power pads in new construction and retrofits. Environmental assessments must study the long-term impact of electromagnetic exposure. Equity frameworks must ensure fair access across all income levels and communities. This requires inclusive policymaking and multidisciplinary collaboration. Wireless charging is more than a technical innovation. It's a societal evolution. It affects how we live, work, move, and connect. It redefines the value of space, time, and energy, and it's happening faster than many realize. Already, cities are planning infrastructure that assumes autonomous electric vehicles will use wireless charging. Architects are designing homes with embedded garage pads for seamless overnight charging. Construction firms are bidding on smart roads that will power cars, traffic lights, and buildings. Tech companies are integrating wireless charging APIs into navigation and fleet management software. Insurance firms are evaluating risk models based on passive charging systems. Academia is investing in courses that blend electrical engineering with mobility systems design. The momentum is real, and it's building globally. And the world is watching to see who will lead this transformation. Will it be the automakers who integrate wireless first? Will it be the governments who deploy infrastructure quickly? Will it be startups who innovate the cheapest and most scalable systems? Or will it be communities who demand cleaner, simpler energy solutions? No matter the answer, the journey is already underway. Wireless power for electric cars is no longer a fantasy. It's an innovation with real momentum. It represents a critical juncture in the evolution of energy and mobility. And as more players step in, the technology will mature, prices will drop, and adoption will soar. In the not-so-distant future, cables will be a thing of the past, a relic of early EV days. The roads we drive on, the places we park, and even the way we live will be shaped by invisible power. An unseen grid silently humming beneath our feet, charging our vehicles without a second thought. This is the dawn of a new energy paradigm. It's wireless, it's intelligent, and it's ready to change everything. The age of wireless power for electric cars has arrived.